Today we're going to have a video that I shot a little while ago, and this video is the second in the series on rent-free places to camp or super cheap places to camp. And then this one we're going to talk about dispersed camping. I want to apologize a little bit for the quality of the video. You'll see it's a little choppy. It was a very windy day, and so I have this huge, and you can see in some of the shots where there are dust bunnies blowing around me, and some of them might have to just stop and wait for the dust and the wind to settle down, and even a little traffic to drive by. So it's a little choppy, but it's fine. I think you'll still enjoy the video, and you'll hear the message from it. But that's the explanation for why it's so choppy. And second, I think dispersed camping is so important that I want to really inspire you to consider dispersed camping. And so throughout the video, I'm going to put in some photos I've taken at different dispersed campsites all across the country. And so when a picture pops up while I'm talking, you'll know that that's just a dispersed camping spot that I've been to, that I love, and that is available to you. You can drive right there. The majority of them you can get to in a small RV, a Class C, any Class B you can get to it, but most Class Cs can get to them too. Some you can't. Now I'll have a couple of those in there. They're just so pretty, I have to show you. But any van can get to any of them. Any car can get to any of them. And finally, a third thing I want to tell you is that some of you are probably sitting out there and watching this video and thinking, this can't be real. I've never heard of dispersed camping. This must be illegal. You can't just drive down the road, find a campsite and set up camp and camp there. And I know it's hard to believe, but it really is true. And to verify it and to corroborate every word I'm saying, the very next video will be with a BLM Ranger in the 2016 RTR that I hold in Quartzsite, Arizona every January. We had a BLM Ranger come and speak to us, and I asked him all these questions, and lots of people asked him questions, and that's next week, and you can watch it, and he'll verify everything I'm saying. You just drive down the road, you see the spot you like, you pull over, you camp. You can do this. You can live rent-free. I know it's hard to believe, but it really is true. So let's go ahead and watch the video now. I hope you enjoy it and you are inspired. Okay, let's watch the video. So dispersed camping means camping for free. That means you go to the national forest, you drive around any legal road. It's got to be a legal road. You can't camp off an illegal road because you can't be on a illegal road. So you find a safe camping place that obeys all the rules, a little bit off the road, not too much off the road. There are always rules about how far off the road you have to be and how close you have to be. Mostly it's between 30 and 300 feet off of the road. In the Coconino National Forest, where we are now, it's 300 feet. You can camp up to 300 feet off the road, but it varies by every forest. That's not a generalization. The only generalization is you always have to find out the rules in that forest because it's always different. So you drive around the National Forest Road or a BLM road. We're in National Forest now, so that's what I'm talking about. But it's BLM equally, and you drive around, you find a good camping spot, you pull in and you park. That's your campsite. You don't pay anyone. A host will not come around. There are no rules. Well, there are rules. Of course, there are always the standard rules on BLM and National Forest land. Forest about fires and trash, common sense things. If you can just use common sense, you can obey the rules. Don't leave a messy camp. Don't start a fire. If it's a fire ban, don't build a fire. Follow common sense rules and find out if there are any specific rules, and there usually are some specific rules to that area, and I'll tell you how to find out the specific rules in another video. This one says 14-day camping limit. That means I can camp here for 14 days and then I have to move. How far I have to move varies by forest. As a broad generalization, that like all generalizations, it doesn't work, but broad generalization is 28 miles and be gone for 2 weeks. A lot of variations in that. I know of a national forest that's literally right next door to a national park, and the limit is 5 days per month. So don't take these as generalizations. You have to find out. So dispersed camping really is just opposite of campground camping, where there's a campground host. He tells you the rules. He tells you where to camp. He tells you exactly what to do. He collects money from you. This is completely different. No hosts. Normal rules apply, but not special rules of the campground. No, for example, there won't be a generator rule. If you're out in the middle of nowhere, you can run your generator 24 hours a day. If you're in a campground, there will be a quiet time. So the rules are there. Quiet times are usually from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., something like that. There are not going to be any rules out here dispersed camping because there's no one around you, hopefully. And if there is, it's between you guys to settle it. Now, common sense and courtesy says you don't run you keep quiet time no matter if you have neighbors. But that's between you and them. There's not a set rule dispersed camping for that. And so the common sense rules always apply. You don't, there are a lot of things you just don't do. You don't make a mess. You don't leave your trash. You don't poop on the ground. Just common sense things that you know are wrong. But everything else is free. Just do what you think you want to do. So next you want to know, well, where do I go to find dispersed camping? My assumption is that dispersed camping is allowed on all national forest and BLM land unless I'm told very specifically otherwise. And right here behind me, you'll see another type of sign that says camp in designated areas only. And what that means is that in this particular camping area in a national forest, in the Coconino National Forest, there are not very many campsites, so they have designated them. They'll be marked usually with a sign, with a signpost with the little tint on it. That means designated camping. And you can camp there and nowhere else. I've seen this a lot on the East Coast. It's unusual here on the West Coast, but here in this particular spot, and it's very unusual, this is about the only one I know of here in the Coconino, you have to camp right here in their designated spots. It's unusual, but the point is, and it's their obligation to tell you, you can't camp here, you can only camp there. And if they don't tell me that, my assumption is going into BLM land or national forest land, I can disperse camp anywhere I want. So there you have it. That's dispersed camping. So probably 99% of my time, I'm dispersed camping. I drive down a road, I find a campsite that I like, and I set up camp there. That's dispersed camping. I love it. It puts me right here in contact with nature. I can get off and be virtually alone, and I love that. Just everything about dispersed camping is wonderful, and so it's what I do. And I really recommend it to you. You're going to start thinking, and that's just the way we are, you're going to think, oh man, it's going to be dangerous. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I have never in my entire time had two-legged predators that I was afraid of. I've never been afraid in my camp of four-legged predators. Not for myself. I have been afraid for Cody. I've seen coyotes come in pretty close to camp. So coyotes can be a risk to your dogs and your cats or pets. I'm at no risk in camp. So here's the thing. There's nothing out here for the bad guys to want. There's one person every 100 miles, and out here, most of us are armed. I'm armed. And so there's a lot of risk and very little reward. What kind of stuff's he going to steal from the average camper in a national forest? Tents? How much can he sell a tent for? So he's taking this risk, but getting virtually no reward. The bad guys are in town where there's a lot of people to steal from, a lot of people with money, people walking down the street with money. Every house, they can watch a house and stake it out and start to know who's there and how much money they have and what their habits are. You can't do that here. I'll see you. The further you are away from the city, the safer you are. The more remote you are in the national forest or BLM land, the safer you are. That has been my experience 100%. Everyone that I know who does this and lives this way, they'll also tell you that has been their experience also. So for safety, seek this out. Don't run away from it. It's cheap, it's free, I am connected to nature. Look at this beautiful spot I'm in. And I wake up here every day of my life. I have spent nearly all of my time, 99% of the last 9 years, in national forest or BLM land, dispersed camping, and it has utterly changed and revolutionized my life. This connection to nature changes you. It changes me. You'll have to slow down, and your worries and your fears will drop off, and you'll gain peace of mind and peace of heart. It is just wonderful way to live, and it's cheap. cheap, cheap, cheap. How much cheaper can it be than free? So I just hope I can convey to you how much I love dispersed camping. So in future videos, we'll talk about how I found campsites very specifically when I'm traveling. I'm going to go move somewhere and I want to look for a campsite, and I'll tell you how I do that. And then we'll talk about, in the future videos, we'll talk about a lot of places that are free or very cheap, where you don't even have to move every 14 days. Here you have to move every 14 to 16 days, and that's no big deal. It's no big deal. I can't stay out here past 14 days. I'll need food, I'll need water, I'll need trash. So every 14 days you go into town and then you move on to a new campsite. No big deal. No sacrifice there at all. You don't even have to go very far usually. You might drive 50 miles, maximum of 50 miles, and you're going to start your 14 days all over again. So it's a wonderful way to live, and I hope you'll consider it. So I'll stop there. I can go on and on about something I love so much. In the meantime, until the next video, I hope you've enjoyed this, you've learned something, you've been inspired to pursue a better way of living. And I really, with my whole heart and being, believe this is a better way to live. So until next time, I hope you'll like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and tell all your friends that, man, there is another way to live. There's another way to think about life. And hopefully they'll catch the inspiration too, and catch the bug, and maybe scratch some of their itchy feet. So thanks for watching, and we appreciate you very much.